Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching VCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Welcome back to Braintree Today. I'm Martha Konstandinidis and you're watching VCAM TV. Now we'll be getting into our latest stories from the week. Two top Democratic leaders in Congress have decided to allow the sale of 50 F-15 jet fighters to Israel, giving the go-ahead for a major weapons deal that had been held up over concerns about the thousands of civilians killed in the war in Gaza. The $18 billion sale is one of the largest arms deals with Israel in recent years, and comes as President Biden is facing calls from within his own party to withhold American weapons to pressure Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to bring an end to the Gaza war with Hamas. Two of the four congressional leaders who sign off on major arms deals who are blocking the sale are Representative Gregory Meeks of New York and Senator Ben Cardin of Maryland. Eric Harris, a spokesman for the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, said, quote, "Any issues or concerns Chair Cardin had were addressed through our ongoing consultations with the administration, and that is why he felt it appropriate to allow the case to move forward," end quote. In an English language video posted on Tuesday, Benjamin Netanyahu told Secretary of State Antony Blinken it's inconceivable that in the past few months the administration has been withholding weapons and ammunition to Israel. Russian prosecutors have indicted Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich. Gershkovich is being held on allegations of espionage that he, the Journal, and the U.S. government vehemently deny. A Russian court said the judicial proceedings will be held in secret, with the first hearing taking place on June 26th. The 32-year-old reporter has been held in Moscow's Lefortovo prison since March 29th of last year. At the time of his detention, Gershkovich, who is a U.S. citizen, was accredited to work in Russia. On Tuesday, President Biden reversed a federal law regarding the immigrant status of spouses who are married to U.S. citizens. These actions will speed up lawful status for people who are living in the country without legal permission. The program has the potential to benefit immigrants who have been living in the country for at least a decade, offering them work permits, deportation protections, and a route for them to apply for green cards, which is the pathway to citizenship. An administration official said the application process is expected to open by the end of the summer. Federal law currently requires migrants who enter the country illegally and married American citizens to leave the U.S. for 10 years before they can apply for citizenship. The new policy will allow an estimated 500,000 non-citizen spouses and roughly 50,000 of their children to apply for lawful permanent resident status that they are already eligible for without leaving the country. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas said in January that more than 85% of those detained for illegally crossing the border were being released into the U.S. After decades of false starts, researchers say they are finally making progress on a long-acting and reversible birth control option for men. An experimental product, gel, was developed by the National Institutes of Health and the nonprofit Population Council, and it takes almost the same approach as birth control pills for women. It's a hormonal gel that men rub on their shoulders once daily, and over time it blocks the production of sperm in the testes. The gel is allegedly supposed to replace enough testosterone to keep men healthy, but not so much that they make enough sperm to get someone pregnant. In a clinical trial, 86% of men achieved these low sperm counts by 15 weeks of using the gel. Experts said that after men stop using the gel, their sperm count returned to normal levels within 2 or 3 months. After the recovery phase of the trial, many of the participants went on to become fathers, proving that the method is fully reversible. Researchers have started a conversation with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration about how to test the gel in a final definitive trial. As summer creeps in, the 2024 Paris Olympics are just around the corner. This upcoming weekend, athletes in track and field will hit the ground running for their trials, while gymnastics will have to wait until next week for their shot at representing the U.S. at the Paris Olympics. You can watch all the trials live on NBC and Peacock through June 30th. Thanks for watching Braintree today. We'll be right back with more after the break.
James. He was surprised to find out that he has elevated blood pressure, which could turn into high blood pressure. So he talked with his doctor about a healthy path to get his numbers down. He quit smoking, which makes a big difference for his overall heart health. He also cut down on salt by watching out for high sodium on food labels and added a 30-minute walk 5 days a week to his routine. These healthy steps weren't easy, but lowering his blood pressure was worth it. Learn more about his healthy path.
Welcome back. In hopes of raising $8 million, town officials held a special election last weekend to ask its voters to decide on the permanent Prop 2.5 tax override. Voters overwhelmingly approved the $8 million tax limit override on Saturday. Mayor Joyce spoke at Monday night's school committee meeting about the tax override. Here's what she had to say.
As many of you hopefully know by now, Braintree came together in a huge way on Saturday and approved with 67% of the voters in favor an $8 million operational override, the first in our history, which goes towards the funding of the town's fiscal year 25 budget and very importantly goes towards the upcoming school year. $4 million of our override, as we've stated, will be immediately allocated back to the schools to buy back programming that was identified for cuts as part of the budgeting process in April. And Superintendent Lee will be reviewing the buybacks later this evening. Just as a refresher for everyone, it's been a few weeks since we've presented that information, so we wanted to share it this evening. In order to put the funds to work and to sustain the benefit of the override, as we've talked about over the last several weeks, beyond just next year, as we've anticipated, I'm going to be asking that the school committee continue to vet areas to save money in the years ahead. Additionally, my office is currently working through on a contract with a DESE-approved vendor to perform a financial audit and a cost savings identification study of our school finances to further find ways to maintain our programming while staying on budget. The override has certainly buffered us some time to make strategic decisions on these cost savings measures so that we're not making them quickly and without thoughtful consideration of any domino effects, as we know are likely in town government. In the months ahead, we need to thoughtfully work on our redistricting plan while evaluating all of our school buildings for a future need and use perspective and preparing a detailed capital investment plan for fiscal year 25. I'm happy to announce that my administration will be leveling up the town's capital plan for fiscal year 25 and beyond to outline all of our town facilities, planned investments at those facilities, needed improvements, prioritization, and a 5-year outlook for funding. We've heard so many times from our residents that we need to have a collaborative discussion around future building needs and uses, especially one that ties into the district's current and projected student body enrollments. So we're getting underway this summer on exactly that. This has not been tackled before in this way, and we're happy to be jumping right into it. Importantly, even with this override passing, we have to continue to realize cost savings measures that preserve our programming to ensure that our students have the best education possible this next year and in the years ahead. We know that expenses are not going down. Inflationary costs are a real challenge, and we need to make sure our discussions around where we're going as a district are strategic and encompassing of both the programs we want and the infrastructure we need. To end on a happy note, we are moving forward. And we are moving forward in a big way after Saturday's vote. Our town's positive vote on Saturday affirms the pride and commitment that Braintree residents have to everyone working in our school district. We see you, we appreciate you, and we are here to support you. For that, I have to say thank you. Thank you for coming together and making history. Thank you for helping us choose a strong path forward. And congratulations to everyone watching. You did it. Thank you.
Thank you.
In other school committee news, the committee voted to close the Manatequit Kindergarten Center. The current students and staff will be relocated back to their home schools, and the Manatequit Center will be available for commercial rent. Here is more from the school committee.
I can certainly make one. We have been preparing over the last few months to move the classes that are currently in Manatequit back to the home schools. Teachers at Manatequit have been feverishly packing, and they have a lot of stuff. And we've been working with facilities on a schedule to move their materials to their new sites in essence, as soon as school ends. So we are in position to have the kindergartens back in the home schools next year, and vacating Manaquit in that process.
I just wanted to mention that I was on the school committee 10 years ago when we voted to open the Manaquit School as a kindergarten center. There was much apprehension back there about creating a kindergarten center. And I just wanted to thank all of the teachers and the staff and the administration that have worked there over the last 10 years, because it really has been a wonderful place for teaching and learning. And I want to thank them. And I certainly understand why we're in the position we are tonight and why we need to vote to close the Manaquit. But again, I just want to thank those individuals who really made it a place where, a very successful kindergarten center where the students really thrived. So thank you.
I'd just like to add just a perspective on the potential benefit that closing the school has to potential income for the town. So the town recently issued an RFP for the lease use by a third party of the school. So looking at the RFP, the responses aren't due back until June 24th. So we don't know officially who will end up leasing that space, but we did advertise it for $12 a square foot. We would be looking for, and it's about 24,000 square feet. So if you back into that, we'd be looking at about $290,000 annually to our budget by being able to use that building for a third party. And it will be a school use. So from a neighborhood perspective, the use will remain a school similarly to it is now. So just a perspective on that. Thank you.
Thank you. So then I asked for a motion to close the Manaquit School Kindergarten Center.
I'd like to make a motion to close the Manaquit School Kindergarten Center at the conclusion of the 2023-2024 school year.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion by Ms. Tuffy and a second by Mr. Lynch. All those in favor? Oh, excuse me. I do need to do a roll call. Mr. Fogarty.
Aye.
Mayor Joyce.
Aye.
Ms. Tuffy.
Aye.
Mr. Lynch.
Aye.
Dr. Horak.
Aye.
Mr. Rolo.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye. That is unanimous. Thank you. Okay.
The permanent override, the town's first, is part of the town's solution to its $18 million budget shortfall. Although the ballot question succeeded, the town still needs to close a remaining $10 million budget gap. The average single-family home in Braintree is valued at $668,178. With the passage of the override, the average property tax increase will be $454 next year. Braintree also has an override impact calculator that residents can check out at voteyesbraintree.com/howmuchwillitcostme. In a new statement from Massachusetts State Police, a passenger in an SUV that hit a deer on Route 3 died after another vehicle hit her in the breakdown lane. A 2013 Toyota RAV4 was traveling north on Route 3 near the 40.2-mile marker when they hit the deer around 3 a.m. Sunday morning. Police said the driver, a 63-year-old Roxbury man, stopped in the right lane to check the damage to the SUV. He and the passenger, 35-year-old Magdalena Desrosiers of Roxbury, got out of the RAV4 and were on foot. As they checked their vehicle, a Jaguar SUV traveling in the right lane swerved into the breakdown lane to avoid hitting the Toyota, but instead hit the passenger who was standing there. She was taken to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. State officials are continuing to investigate the incident. The summer is upon us and it's time for the Nelson Chin Summer Concert Series. Beld will be sponsoring the free concerts every Tuesday evening at Braintree's Sunset Lake Whaling Gazebo, as well as one concert that will take place at Smith Beach. Shows run from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. starting on June 25th. For more information and a list of performers, head to braintreema.myrec.com. Due to the Juneteenth holiday falling on Wednesday this week, Braintree's trash and recycling will be delayed. During the week of Juneteenth, there will be a one-day delay for all trash and recycling curbside collections starting on Wednesday, June 19th. Normal collections will resume the following week. Thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll be right back with more stories in the area.
Take steps to keep yourself and your family safe from ticks and the illnesses they can cause. Use EPA-approved tick repellents on your skin and clothes. Read and follow the directions. Wear light-colored clothing to make it easier to spot a crawling tick. Check for ticks on yourself, your kids, and your pets anytime you've been outdoors. Some tick bites can make you sick, but finding and removing a tick properly makes it less likely. Call your doctor if you start to feel ill or notice a rash near the bite. Play it safe when you're outdoors.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. Now let's get right into more stories. Boston's iconic duck boats are set to carry the NBA champion Boston Celtics and the Larry O'Brien Trophy on a victory parade through the city on Friday. The Celtics beat the Dallas Mavericks 106-88 in Game 5 of the NBA Finals to win the series. Monday's win over the Mavericks gave the Celtics their 18th NBA championship in franchise history, putting them in unprecedented territory when it comes to league history. Boston Mayor Michelle Wu announced Tuesday that the city will celebrate the Celtics' 18th NBA championship with a rolling rally. During the parade, Celtics players will celebrate on Boston's famous duck boats, as is tradition for championship-winning teams. The parade will start at 11 a.m. in front of TD Garden on Causeway Street, pass by City Hall Plaza, then the Boston Common on Tremont Street, and end on Boylston Street by the Heinz Convention Center. 4 people were taken to the hospital after a school bus caught fire on Interstate 93 in Boston, stopping traffic heading to the city on Monday afternoon. The fire took place near exit 14, according to the Massachusetts Department of Transportation. A Boston Public Schools spokesperson said the chartered bus was transporting 8th graders from Josiah Quincy Upper School from a field trip when it caught fire. No serious injuries were reported, but 4 people were taken to the hospital to be treated for smoke inhalation. In some parts of New England this week, the temperatures feel like it's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside. The National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory and heat watch that will impact the South Shore through Friday evening. The feels like temperature, also known as the heat index, could reach up to between 97 degrees and 105 degrees. Some towns are offering cooling centers. In Braintree, Town Hall will be open through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. as a cooling center, and residents can also visit the Peterson Splash Pad at Watson Park. Daily summer hours are 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. A Massachusetts pizzeria owner has been convicted of forced labor charges after being accused of threatening and physically abusing employees, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. 48-year-old Stavros Steve Papatonadis of Westwood was convicted June 7th after a 9-day jury trial in Boston federal court of 3 counts of forced labor and 3 counts of attempted forced labor. He could face more than 20 years in prison when he is sentenced later this year on September 12th. Prosecutors say he forced or tried to force 5 men and 1 woman to work for him and comply with excessive workplace demands through violent physical abuse, threats of violence and serious harm, and repeated threats to report them to immigration authorities for deportation. Papatonadis has previously been charged in 1996 with assault and battery, malicious destruction of property, and assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, which turned out to be a pizza shovel. He was also sentenced to 2.5 years in jail for motor vehicle homicide and leaving the scene of an accident. The sales tax holiday has become a tradition and staple of the summer season for many years now. This year, Massachusetts residents can expect the sales tax holiday on the weekend of August 10th to the 11th. On August 10th and 11th, the Massachusetts sales tax of 6.25% will be suspended for most items under $2,500. The holiday usually attracts shoppers to stores during what is traditionally a slow season for retailers. During the 2023 holiday, the state's Department of Revenue said economic activity in Massachusetts increased, leading to an additional $3.5 million in indirect tax revenue. However, shoppers can expect to pay tax on any items costing more than $2,500, as well as meals, motor vehicles, motorboats, telecommunication services, gas, steam, electricity, tobacco products, marijuana or marijuana products, and alcoholic beverages. Thanks for watching Braintree Today. We'll be right back with more in entertainment.
Hi, I'm Tom Lyons, a retired captain from the Quincy Fire Department and the author of the book Fighting Fire, A Proactive Approach. Do you know that electrical failures are the third leading cause of home fires? Cords and plugs led in this category, while extension cords dominated this category. To avoid these fires, plug heat-generated appliances directly into an outlet. Do not use power strips or extension cords on these appliances. Power strips are designed for use with electronics only. Do not put electrical cords underneath rugs or pinch behind furniture. Do not overload outlets. Charge laptops and phones on hard surfaces only. Finally, if an electrical device is not working as designed, it is time to repair it or replace it. Be conscious of your home environment and be safe, and thank you for doing so.
Welcome back to Braintree Today. This week in entertainment, we have 3 movie recommendations for you to watch. But first, some entertainment news. Singer-songwriter Justin Timberlake was pulled over in Sag Harbor, New York, and was taken into custody Monday night. A Sag Harbor Justice Court official confirmed later that the charges Timberlake faces are DWI related. A source told People magazine that, quote, the selfish hitmaker was arrested on DWI charges after having dinner at the American Hotel in Sag Harbor. He was pulled over after leaving the establishment to drive to his friend's house. Nobody was hurt, end quote. Timberlake was arraigned for the charges on Tuesday. Now, here are some movie recommendations to help you unwind this weekend. First, Beautiful Wedding follows Abby and Travis, who after a crazy night in Las Vegas, wake up as accidental newlyweds, then travel to Mexico for an even wilder honeymoon. As chaos ensues, they must decide if they belong together or if this marriage is a disaster waiting to happen. The film stars Dylan Sprouse and Virginia Gardner. You can watch Beautiful Wedding now on Hulu. Next, Lisa Frankenstein follows a misunderstood teenager and a reanimated Victorian corpse who embark on a murderous journey together to find love, happiness, and a few missing body parts. The film stars Katherine Newton and Cole Sprouse. You can watch Lisa Frankenstein now on Peacock. And finally, The Exorcism follows a troubled actor who begins to unravel while shooting a horror film. His estranged daughter wonders if he's slipping back into his past addictions or if there's something more sinister at play. The film stars Russell Crowe and Ryan Simpkins. You can watch The Exorcism now in theaters. That'll do it for news today. Remember, if you're a customer of Verizon, you can watch BCAM TV in high definition on channel 2128. I'm Martha Konstandinidis, and thank you for watching Braintree Today on BCAM TV. We'll see you next time.